My favorite story is Belem. Which is sort of funny because it's not that much of a story. I'm saying that because it has very little dialogue in it. Sometimes chapters go on with no words at all being spoken. It took 6 years to make, but you can read it in 6 hours. But then you'll probably miss the point because the story isn't much told in the words. It's told through the journey. I'll try and explain what I mean with that. It's literally just about a guy walking through this giant, never-ending structure. And I'm pretty sure the guy, Killy, which is his name, doesn't really know either what is happening because it's been so long that he's been going through it. And because of the lack of dialogue, you're really forced yourself to figure out the story. And it's also an opportunity to make it your own. Obviously, you're giving a certain frame for it, but it's also why I don't really want to talk about the story too much, because I think everyone have their own perception of what it is. Hidetaka Miyazaki, the creator of Dark Souls, said himself that when he was a child, he loved to read, but he wasn't very talented at it, so often he would read passages of text that he couldn't understand. So he would instead allow his imagination to fill in the blanks. This is exactly what Blame is. There's so much empty space for you to fill with your own imagination. And it's almost like you're co-writing the story with the author. Which may seem a bit selfish, but it also makes it so much more personal, I guess. The creator of Blam, Tsutomu Nihei, shows that you can tell a story with barely any dialogue, and he does this because he draws it so beautifully. Nihei used to study architecture, and you can definitely tell while reading through it. Some of the scenery is just outstanding, and it really draws you in. And even though it's so dark and so grim, you still feel like you want to be part of it in a really weird and twisted way. Each page is a piece of art, I think, at least. I realize I'm talking about it like it's some perfect piece of art, but it's really an action cyberpunk manga. It's that's it. That's all it is. But it's also so much more. Blame came out on Netflix as a movie, which I guess is surprising because it's pretty old. And I didn't really love the movie, but I thought at least now is a good chance for me to talk about it because it is my favorite manga, and I figure now is as good time as ever to do that. I love Blame because of a lot of small reasons. I love it because the art improves so much just from volume 1 to volume 2. It's so interesting to see the artist grow while making the manga and seeing him improve. I love because it's an 18+ manga, but it still takes itself seriously enough not to overdo the gore and all the sexual bits, even though I do love anime titties. I love it because, for me, it's like a friend. It's a friend that you can revisit whenever you feel like it, and you find out something new that you didn't know before. But it's still nice to just revisit. I really love Blame. I don't expect anyone else to really like it. It's really not for everyone. At all. I just love talking about it. And I really just want to say thank you to Tsumoto Nihei for making such a wonderful piece of art.